All right, welcome everybody. We're starting our meeting. Hello. Before we get started, you know you should stand up at least once every hour, right? I encourage you to stand up more often because we have macarons from Renault's from Jordan. We have heart-shaped cookies from somebody. Laura.
Come into a public comment, I should be nice.
We also have tangerines from Jordan for those who are healthy. I actually baked. Down. They are gluten-free. Better than they do have almond in them, and those are the ones with the cloth. So I just encourage you guys to grab a cookie. There's napkins. There's the coffee. Thanks, Kathy. So thank you for the village of food. All right.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right, welcome everybody. So we'll start with an approval of agenda. Danielle and who else? Christy, thank you. And I assume by acclamation. Nope. All right, wonderful. We don't have anything out of order, but we do have a 3:45 time set agenda item. Jordan last meeting didn't get to his agenda item. He is first and I'm so excited about it. So that will be our first one. And then we have a time sensitive one at 4:15 as well. That is to hear from our campus store and our SBCC Follett at City College has a different name, which I can't remember. So we're going to learn that today, but we have a wonderful presentation from our Follett representative. And so those are our two time sensitive items. So I'm just sort of reminding everybody, I don't want to have to be the ones to do it. Hello, Jens, you have a question? You have a hand?
No, that's my first.
Oh, Mike. And Mike is here. So Mike, it's not, that's cool. I've never seen that one. You're not on.
I think it's a cursor.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, hello.
Does the cursor change?
I don't know. All right.
I don't
At any rate, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. And so our first item is for public comment.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hello, Senate. Thank you for all you do. We're the business division of the business department of town and finance. And the goal is to share with you some things we've heard about on campus regarding finances and our students. You know, everyone in this room. It's students. So we begin to familiar.
So back in the fall, we were assured that our spring schedules were approved. All classes would be allowed to go with sufficient paid notes. I told you all the same. So we designed our schedules with several late start standby sections. We wanted to intentionally manage enrollment, ensure high fill rates, and have flexibility so that we can meet student needs. Also in the fall, SBC students received official emails from the administration defining the new standby classes as follows. This class will be ready to open upon student demand. Will be ready to open upon student demand. Guess what? It's all changed around January 13th. That day, the first of several incorrect and rather chaotic budgetary forecasts from fiscal management came out. The forecasted deficit started at $8 million. After repeated error alerts, this was corrected to $6.5 million deficit the following Wednesday. At the board meeting 24 hours later, it had changed to $4.8 million with a disclosure that there was still another million of variance we were unable to explain. Since then, fiscal has decided to not present any more forecasts, but nevertheless, the impacts on our students and our programs are devastating.
This has happened in multiple ways. For one, we were denied, we had to cancel classes that had low enrollment. At the time, we had asked that when we were scheduling back in the spring, that we were told to, or called to have more face-to-face classes. We brought those face-to-face classes and they were canceled due to low enrollment, 14 to 15 students. We asked if we could convert those to online classes and have them as late starts, and we were told no. Next, we were told that we were not allowed to open or offer our late standby sections. Accounting 110 and accounting 230. These are very, very high demand classes. These classes are either prerequisite classes for our own associate degrees, or they're a required class, the second largest degree given on this campus. The business administration for transfer degree. They're also a requirement for the econ degree. As the instructor of these classes, I need you to understand that I start receiving emails in December to ask for ad codes for these late start classes. I even had gone as far as counselors from UCSB and Cuesta College have started contacting me to ensure that these late start classes will go, because they have students at their college who need these classes. We are one of the only colleges in the region that offers an 8-week that starts as late as March 20th. This class allows these students to get their degree or transfer to another school. I will explain to you that at UCSB, they have an accounting degree. If an accounting student decides, I don't want to be an accountant, but I want a business major, they cannot stay at UCSB and they must transfer. But they cannot transfer unless they have that accounting 230. Why pay UCSB prices when they could come here? And that's what their counselors tell them. They tell them and send them to our school. So now we are being told that we cannot offer these sections. Okay? I have already begun and I've turned away 10 to 15 students, telling them that their class will not be offered. Okay? But why? We were told this because supposedly there are no more TLVs left for us to use. So what we thought was thoughtful enrollment by offering standby classes with the purposeful plan of not enrolling them until all of our regular start classes had filled. Even our 1 or 2 week late classes have filled. We then open it up so that we purposely force our students to go to the classes so that they don't pick. We drive them into the proper classes, if that makes sense. It went up to who got to open their standbys first. So now we're at a loss and we're sending students away.
Plus, we do not have other classes that we could cancel. All of our sections are full. Each semester, I add students beyond classroom capacity because they needed to transfer and or to graduate. There's a lack of options for them. And what happened to the promise to our students that these classes classified as standby will be opened upon student demand? The demand is there. We are actively turning students away. They will graduate later or they will take these classes somewhere else. The chances are they are not coming back. Aren't we asked to increase enrollment? How does that fit if we don't have classes for them? Finally, we are devastated how this college is jeopardizing student success by disallowing us to open even a single additional section of Finance 100. As we all know, the biggest hurdle for our students to graduate or transfer is math. A year and a half ago, Finance 100 is now accepted as fulfilling the math requirement for our own graduates, as well as for CSU transfers. Demand for Finance 100 has gone up significantly, but we had to reduce sections this spring compared to fall, and all of them are full and over enrolled. We have asked to add at least one more section, but the answer is no. This will greatly hurt our most disadvantaged students. This is the opposite of equity, the opposite of being student-centered.
So in conclusion, thank you for having us, and keep this in mind. Trust is behavior over time. We have continually been told to cut, the academic side. What about other parts of campus? Because teachers and those that have that desire, our counselors, our librarians, to be one-on-one with the students, we're getting punished unproportionately by being cut with the students. So what's going on financially around campus? That's something we have to look at, especially when the data keeps changing. So keep that in mind. It's all about our students. And what better use of foundation money than to offer classes? Because when they don't get the classes they want, they don't get the dreams they're dreaming. Okay.
Thank you. That was really beautifully put together. And I appreciate being told in advance. So the hearing will talk about this. Members of Senate can let us know about agendizing this.
Yes,
Thank you.
agenda is it.
I'm telling you now.
He has spoken. Okay, before the meeting continues, I forgot to ask for a volunteer to take minutes. I know it's a big job. And I will start keeping track. And,
Can we pay somebody?
When do we get an actual person back?
Yeah, this is
Never.
ridiculous.
Never?
This
I
is-
don't
I mean, honestly, that's
This is
because we
wrong.
need to be supported.
well, I'm just talking about right now. Anybody have, but I hear you. Anybody,
I can help out.
okay, so help out like
I can take the
all,
notes,
you
yeah.
sure? Okay, Danielle, we could split them or you just,
I volunteer actively reducing the college deficit, working.
all right, Cornelia's on for today. And then you, those of you, reports, I love it when you share them. I told you I love your voices and together I get a really great minute. So,
So I take the minutes of the whole thing?
you're the official minute taker.
Um,
But however, if Cornelia, if you want to stop because you really want to talk, just like point to someone else, say, hey, got this, because I'm talking. And then I also forgot to introduce our new channels reporter for the feed. So could you? Hello?
My name's Sophia Spavins. I'm the news editor for the student-run newspaper on campus, The Channels. And I will be with you guys this semester, and I'm super happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it was. It's great to see you at the beautiful grand opening. So, all right, so I'm checking the time here. We have until 3:25, 3:12 to get to item 6.1. So I'm talking out loud there. Forgive me. I didn't finish the minutes. It wasn't because of my note takers, because of me and my life. So I'll be back to that. All right. So before I share my brief written report, and I'm really, again, trying to watch time. Yeah, I left it on the printer, so, okay. Okay, so I did want to start. So there's some information items here. I'm going to not read them out loud, but I just wanted to say that I was very moved by our appreciation session on February 2nd, and I've been thinking a lot about how grateful I am for all of you here. I have 3 months left, so like closure feelings are emerging, but a lot of gratitude. And so as I made cookies this morning, which I hope you'll take home if you don't eat one, because I made them from that space. So the information items are just the 4th full-time faculty hire because we had a resignation in ADN. It's in you got it in your email, but I want to make sure that you knew about that. Because we spent a lot of time on the 3 emergency hires we recommended. This is a 4th one like that. This is exciting. It will come up later. We talked at the end of the year of wanting to rethink summer session. And Dr. Anjanana, I never can say her name when I'm speaking. I practice at home. Erica is interested in us talking about that if we want to. We have to think about the timeline and there's some details. So I just wanted you to know that's in there. Okay, this next part. Again, as I think of the closing 3 months, I have goals that Tara's helped me set and steering in terms of feeling as though we're on stronger footing in how our participatory governance processes are working. We have a PRT visit for that as well. So we're going to get a support for that process, but in the meantime, we still work every day on this issue. So there is sometimes some gray areas. And so I'm just reminding us, this is on our agenda every time. And these are actual membership cards. So when I was first on the Senate, decades ago now, Peter Haslam got me on early when he was president, I laminated mine with tape, but so I encourage you to take this and carry it around. So these were in the, when I emptied the Senate office, these were there.
Tell them what's on them.
Not now, time, but take a card, read it. But anyway, I highlighted the areas that are more debatable. And so I just want this to kind of be in your minds. Thank you, Christy. So then I did a brainstorm. So you guys, decide if you really want to share this out. But it's public, it's recorded, it'll be posted, but at any rate. And I'm going to think about this at steering. The item that our public comment just raised is here. So these are the issues that have been especially challenging. Scheduling, yes. So I'm trying to articulate the cross purposes of, as faculty, think about scheduling versus administration. So this again, a brainstorm to come back to, but I've just been struggling so much. I thought it was time to kind of get these ideas into the atmosphere not gonna talk about them now, but they're here, steering will look at it, you asked for agenda item for this, so this is some of the questions that are coming up and the different stances that people have. And then a very serious practical issue, which is that the TLU allocations by area are in place, and it's a shock for our culture for many chairs to be told to cut TLUs for next schedule, so we're gonna be talking. The facilities master plan, there's been a lot of different perspectives on that. We have had, PNR looked at some reports about usage and we're really concerned. Are these classrooms really empty? Regardless, yes, we're using our classrooms, but there are a lot of empty classrooms. I'm in BC this time because I'm practicing high flex and hard landing was in that room. No one's at the 9:35 slot or the 12:45 slot. I mean, that's a big deal in our main building. So we're gonna have to, we're thinking about that. And there's really different perspectives about budgeting. So these are the three that I've really been thinking about a lot lately. And again, this is just here as a brainstorm, not to talk about, but it will probably be coming through. Okay. So Maria's report.
And in the interest of time, I did hyperlink it there. I'm glad everyone has access to it. In the interest of time, I limited it to 4 items, 2 of which you could just read because they are reminders. But the first 2 I do want to speak to a little bit, and that is our spring 24 enrollments, headcount, and FTEs as compared to only a year ago. So where we are right now, as of this morning from Tableau, data from Tableau, is we have, we are at almost 6% down when we are looking at enrollments only. We are about 1.5, 1.6 above last year in headcount, but not in enrollments. And also we are down FTEs about, I can't see, is it 8.7? 8.7%. I will say this does not include the dual enrollments FTE for spring 24, as you'll see in the chart there, that says in progress. Those don't come in until the end of the semester, so we don't know what it will be at the end of spring, but this is where we are right now. So down in enrollments, down in FTEs, up in headcount by 1.6%. One thing to note, though, a characteristic between this year and last year is that non-California resident headcount is down about 6.5%. And that is huge for us, just compared to a year ago. The other one is the EdVision plan priorities that we are proposing, and by we, I mean the EdVision plan steering committee and attached work groups. So please do stay in contact with your Senate representatives on the EdVision plan academic affairs work group. Should you have any concerns about these sort of potential priorities we propose, and from here, we will develop strategies and then activities that will be part of the plan. And in the interest of time, I know you have lots, I will stop here.
So I have a question, just given what the business department proposed, if our enrollments are down, why are we not opening classes and why are we canceling face-to-face classes?
Would you, do you want me to engage in that discussion now, Kim? Because that,
Sadly, no.
as you can imagine, that is not just a quick response. It's a layered response, it's a complex response, and it really, I think, would not make the topic justice if we don't allow them to discuss that.
Yes, and we just said we put it on the agenda for next week.
Well, I felt like that question. Maria, too, can we make sure we advertise for the brown bag and we can discuss it there as well?
Absolutely. And then
I wanted to make sure I wanted to make a brief report.
Sorry, Kim, did you just say my name?
Yes, I'm wondering if you wanted to make a brief report.
I do, and I can be very brief, and I apologize that I didn't have the chance to send this in writing in advance. I can send a follow-up so folks have links. Mine can be very, very quick. I just wanted to let everyone know, if you have not seen the email, if you have, it's a reminder. The Financial Aid Office is going to be conducting a Financial Aid Fest on February 28th from 10 to 1 in the Student Services Plaza, which is the big plaza in front of the Student Services Building. This is an opportunity for students to come and get help completing the FAFSA, the California Dream Act application, have questions answered, complete verification documents, whatever they might need. The entire financial aid staff will be outside and available with computers ready to go to help students. As most of you might know, the rollout of the new quote unquote simplified FAFSA from the Department of Education has been a hot mess, to say the least. And so this is really our attempt to be supporting our students, to have an in-person presence and really try to help ensure that they're getting their FAFSAs and California Dream Act applications done as well and easily as possible. More information or more emails and information is going to continue to be sent out. Just wanted to get that on everyone's radar. I did also want to let folks know that as a result of some of our work with the Strategic Enrollment Management Academy, we are moving forward with only requiring that students complete CCC Apply after they've been absent from SBCC for 2 primary terms. So as you might know, CCC Apply is a challenge to complete. We don't have a lot of control over CCC Apply. It is the Chancellor's Office application. What we do have some control over is how often we require students to complete CCC Apply. So in order to help streamline the process, currently, right now, if a student is absent from SBCC for 1 primary term, they're required to do a new CCC Apply application. We're now going to be changing that to 2 primary terms, and that will be effective beginning summer 2024 application cycle. So we just finished the testing for it. It's been going really well. I have to give a lot of credit to Admissions and Records NIT for making that happen. I also just wanted to put a plug for scholarship reviewers. This is SBCC Foundation's scholarship application cycle. The foundation gives out nearly $1 million every year to over 750 SBCC students in scholarships, and they desperately need help of everyone on campus to review scholarship applications. It is an awesome thing to participate. I have done it for years. You get to read scholarship applications of many of our students and learn more about them and their stories. So I would really encourage folks to sign up to be a scholarship reviewer. Jordan has sent out a couple of emails asking for volunteers. Please go look for Jordan's email. You can also email Kevin Muto in the foundation. He's the new scholarship coordinator in the foundation for more information and to volunteer. Last one is just another plug for the Promise Registration Rally happening on April 19th. We're still looking for volunteers. Happy to send out the volunteer sign-up form. There's also information for volunteers on a new website that Enrollment Services developed. So again, just a plug requesting support and volunteers for the Promise Reg Rally on the 19th. And that is it. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you. So the liaison reports were out of our report time. So I will just, like, if there's something you want to shout out while I make this bigger and scroll. So you guys, this is really for you to share out to your constituents. So I'm doing it like a super slow scroll. It's already linked to the agenda. If anybody needs to, just call it out. Otherwise, let's not for this one. So something. Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh,
Yes.
go ahead.
So,
The only thing I would say was maybe that I was going to highlight was for the CPC, the next meeting, we're going to be talking about the budget and program review process. It sounded like it might be a very interesting discussion that a lot of people would be interested in. So
Yeah.
that's February 20th, was it? What
Yeah,
date did I
Tuesday.
put?
Yeah, it's next Tuesday. Thank you.
Okay.
And they're also going to be talking about following up on administration's thoughts about spending that grant. So thank you for highlighting that, because that's an issue many people are interested in. Thank you. Okay, great. And I think that's the last report. Let me get down to Katie. Oh my God, thank you. What an amazing report here. So you guys read that. Okay, and then, Katie's got her report here. All right, thanks you guys. All right, not bad. This is, oh, perfect. We're only 1 minute. It's all golden. Okay. So, this item, I did not have time to update. So I am in Paloma's boat and I'm sorry I have to say these things orally and, I will put it into the minutes in a timely fashion. But if you want to ask me something, you can just email me and I'll eventually get it to you. Or you can text me and I'll tell you right away, or you can ask Tara or somebody else, Katie. But the upshot is, we are in the stage of the facilities master planning where there's going to be some small groups around these different areas. And they're pretty small. The old goal is not to be representative at this time, but to ensure getting some more granular data. And then we'll have information to share out again at a later date. So when this first came out, some of your leadership was concerned, oh my gosh, they're too small, but we eventually figured that out. So we'll just be telling you more about that. So PNR yesterday took the time to recommend some additional faculty, and I shared that with Alexandra, Brian's admin, who's creating the groups. So I just wanted to let you know we're at that phase, but there will be another time when more information will be brought back.
And just to underline that list right here is not the updated list. We are cognizant of like departments like business, which aren't represented there, but they have now been added into the list.
Thank you. Yeah, PNR was really great yesterday to throw that onto the agenda last minute. Does that work together? Okay, our next item.
I can't barely see, sorry.
Oh.
So Kim mentioned at the start of our meeting, she has 3 months left. As many of you will recall that Kim was fulfilling the remaining year on Melanie's term. So we have reached that time where we will be putting out a call for folks interested in running for the Academic Senate president. So Elizabeth and I will be spearheading the call as well as putting together the election ballot once we have candidates. But we need at least one more person to help us with this endeavor. She and I will take the heavy lift, but it is always good to have a few more eyes and ears because it goes out to everybody and we don't want to make any errors. So I am imploring, pleading for a volunteer. Yeah. Great, perfect.
Yay, thank you.
So we will meet probably next week and draft a timeline and we'll share that out with everyone.
All right, so this item, I'm also going to be needing to bring you more information, and it's kind of, you know, I found out I couldn't be an administrator after being Senate president 8 years ago. The level of things that are constantly going on and planning and redoing things. So this partnership resource team project that I've been working on with Julie Sampson and Ryan Alexander, we're tri-chairs for this project. I showed you the bare bones a while ago. Dr. Murillo brought this up in the spring. They were going to come in the fall. We all agreed to move it to spring because fall was too soon. And it's focused on the areas of focus are here. We made it more specific based on the letter that Kindred had submitted. And so the areas of focus are really, really pertinent: integrated planning and budgeting and governance and decision making. So no surprise that we're working on those things now. So but what happened since we sent in all these materials in December is that we finally got to meet with our leader of our team today, right before this meeting. And she's amazing. She's an amazing person. So my memory's so bad and I didn't write it down. Diana.
Maria, do you know
Baj.
who it is?
I will, I can tell you that in a little bit. I don't want to waste time. I should have just written that. Oh, maybe I brought, now you know what? It doesn't,
Amazing.
she's amazing. You'll find her. What is also great is I will be, so we've redone, so the meeting schedule's out of date because, she's amazing and found a better way to do it. So I will be sharing that with you. And there's now gonna be we'd originally organized it by committees. And now it's organized by the topics. So participatory governance, budgeting and resource allocation, and campus climate. So I will share out those new times, and each tri-chair and their team members have been asked to select people that they feel will give enough background to address these issues. However, we want that to be a, interactive process. So we'll be reaching out to people, and we'll probably bring the list to Senate next time for you to see. So we learned a lot from her about how to structure this process, and we're really excited about it. So like I said, I will probably just send an email to the Senate. The tri-chairs are going to get together and sort of propose some folks, and we got to check people's calendars. She's interested in, probably not more than 20 people per meeting, but of course we can be flexible if needed. There'll be a high flex option. And what's also really cool, this is the last thing, she supports that you share out to everybody who was part of the process at the end of the day, not just a smaller group. Some people choose to keep it just to more the leadership, but so everybody who's part of it. So we could be thinking it could be 40, 50 people who end up being part of their visit. So again, I'm sorry I don't have it all in writing. I will send it out for reports afterwards. We're sharing it at CPC on Tuesday. So it'll all be written out and available by then. Okay, I think that's soon enough. So-
Can people attend meetings that maybe aren't members of the group, but just be a mute?
No, I need to check with that. I forgot to ask. We had 45 minutes and we covered so much ground, but I think the mute observer is probably totally fine, but I'm not sure. So thank you for asking. I will ask her that. So anyway, yay, it's gonna be really good. All right, and I think we're doing well on time. Yes, we are. Okay. So, yay, Jordan, woo, 2 minutes early for your agenda item. So, here you go. Your, everything should be here that you need. And, you can open that and then we'll take it from there. If you write it, we'll just allow you to scroll through it.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone, if you celebrate.
Valentine's. Thank you for the cookie.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to connect. As you get to know me, you'll know that I love building relationships, and that's what it's all about. A little bit about me. I am a product of education. My mom was a teacher for 30 years. She taught kindergarten and then moved into admin and hated it. And then I'm also married to an educator as well, who now works as a TOSA at Santa Barbara Unified, and so works in the district, but works to help build out the dual immersion program so it makes sense from K to 12, and will be working with us eventually to make it K to 14. And my PowerPoint's taking a while to load. So some of you have heard me talk about the implementation strategy and at a very high level. And so this is more so going to be similar to that, but there's two things that I want out of this. It's a request, one, to come and meet with your teams, with your departments, to get to know them, number one, but also to understand what their needs are. And two, this presentation is also to reestablish the Office of Communications as an extension of your teams. We are here to support you internally. Our job is also to do work externally, and we can talk about that, but really, what do you all need internally, and how can we support you to enhance your programs and get you there? Make sense? All right. So a lot of this will be hopefully a conversation, because I have some questions at the end of my presentation that finally loaded.
Did it?
Is there supposed to be a presentation on the screen?
Give us a second.
Okay.
I think I have to stop screen share and then share, but we'll see. So where did it open? Downloads? Yeah, the down. I come to this
On the other monitor, Kim.
I can also do it
Is it the
with that.
PowerPoint? I'm sorry, just stand up here. Thank you. Give me a second, let's not give up. We give up on me here. All right.
And so how many of you have heard me talk about this? I think there was a chairs part department, so everybody's kind of great about it. All right, we're gonna skip through, not all of us, okay. All right, repetition's good. And I need to share the screen.
No, it's shared.
It's shared.
I got it.
All right. So you'll hear me talk about implementation, and what that means is let's make sense of our vision statement. Let's make sense of the strategic plan that you all spent so much time on last year. What does that mean for the everyday person? What does that mean for you as educators? What does that mean for our students? And so again, this is going to be high level, but I want to meet with your teams to talk about that, to see what their understanding is and how do we translate that. A lot of things you'll hear about me is finding common language, being a translator in many ways so that it makes sense. I'll always say, let's make things make sense. So first I have to say thank you. You all do so much. I see it every day. I hear it from students, and I just want to say thank you. I also want to say thank you for what feels like a past decade plus of a lot of unfortunate things that have happened to this campus. And I just wanted to send my gratitude and thank you for sticking through it and working together. And I think at times faculty probably felt like you all were running the ship because of the constant turnover. And for me, I'm coming in and trying to see how we can support, how we can help along with my fellow administrators and go from there. So like I said, let's build a relationship, but also we needed to talk about our paths, and that's what I kind of went into detail about. And so here you are. Thank you, faculty, for all you've done. We appreciate you. We're a school. We need you, and we need you not only in the classrooms but also as thought partners. And so we want to work together in order to find solutions. So for me, as I've been here now 5.5 months, I look around and I notice that our business is people, and our number one asset is people. And so for my marketing external side of the house, I'm wondering, what are people saying when you're at the farmer's market and somebody says, oh, where do you work? I'm wondering what those interactions are, because a lot of what we have in terms of our marketing and our people is what you share about where you work and what you share about SBCC. And so that's again why I want to meet with your teams to talk about them, talk with them to see what they're proud of, what they want, and also provide them some talking points and give them support so that they feel confident talking about SBCC in many ways. But our number one asset is our people. It's this right here and how we're doing collectively. And sorry, I'm not really good with PowerPoints. I just like to talk, so that's what I go back and forth. And so thus my SBCC implementation strategy. So why my? What does that mean? We want people to feel belong to this space. We want people to feel like SBCC is it is yours as well. And so adding my in front of it in our campaign really ties that back together. And so we really want to make sure that people have this autonomy for those that engage, work, and play and enjoy our campus. And so you've heard me talk about internal and external. Internal is really SBCC, us faculty, us students, what's happening here on our campus. And then the external is everything else that's outside of SBCC. And I want to make that very clear because sometimes people are like, what do you mean by internal? And that's when we're talking just here. All right. So some things that are coming up that are a part of this implementation strategy. Obviously, Dr. Jonas talked about it at the kickoff, but recognition events, making sure that our part-time faculty are recognized. We're going to work on a monthly good newser. So that's just another email. I apologize. I already know I spam your emails plenty, but how can we bring all the good news and then make sure that people hear that and are aware of it? The my.sbcc.edu portal. This is the big one. Really, this semester, we're looking to bring that live online. And so that's the new portal that will take over Pipeline. And I want to also work with you along with IT to get your department pages up and live on that portal because that's gonna be a huge digital real estate for you to be able to connect and communicate with students. And so, and that's a whole nother presentation that maybe I need to get on with Dean on another academic senate meeting and do the whole round to educate folks. But if you have not already, please reach out to IT and Dean Nevins to talk about your page on the portal, because that's gonna be huge. You're gonna be able to do so much.
Now?
Yes,
Wait, when's it gonna go live?
it's already live, so it's been in beta.
But we haven't like.
We haven't had any direction or anything, how to use it.
Oh, well, this is now me asking. So what I'll do. So that's.
Put our old ones in, right? Like we get to, is it gonna automatically link to this lousy one I have now? Or do we actively put it?
So I don't know what the old one, what
Well, like the
you.
English language page. the little
Webpage.
unlinked
So your webpage will stay the same. So the webpage external is external.
Okay.
This is internal.
Wow.
This is specifically for students. And I can pull it up, but I don't want to take up too much time. But students will be able to log in and go to the search bar and say physical education. And it will populate everything that relates to physical education, including the pages that we create for departments. And then on that department page, you'll be able to say, oh, we have these classes open. Oh, we have this information. And our office will be able to help you essentially put graphics, et cetera, on those pages.
Well, so, oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is there gonna be an organized structure for helping us all do that?
There is, yes, there is. So that's why I would like for you to reach out to Dean, and I can have Dean also reach out to faculty as well, to make sure that we give you everything that you need to be successful.
Yeah, he hasn't done that yet.
Is he up? It's the same.
Paloma has a hand up.
I think that was Christy Grant who asked a question. And Christy, we are coordinating a introduction training with Dean on February 27th for all of student services to see the MySBCC portal. And so you may want to hang on. I'm actually just about to send you all a chat about it. And then follow up with that.
The rest.
Okay.
Thank you, Paloma.
My question, Jordan, was, if we have a built-out web page that we're okay with, or website for the department, can that immediately be transferred over?
Oh,
Or,
absolutely.
okay, so it doesn't have to rebuild.
No, from my understanding, it doesn't have to be like, well, somebody will need to recreate it,
Transfer it,
but
but-
we can look at that, or we can talk with Dean and figure out who to do.
Okay, thank you,
We just need to have the information in multiple places.
got it.
Yes.
Jordan, for the different departments for our pages, is this an appropriate place to put clubs on campus? Because if it's for students and we want our students to have that sense of belonging, is that where that would go?
So I've already had the conversation with Amy Collins and talking with student clubs for them to start populating their pages as well. Because once we go live, we want to make sure that students are able to enter it and see that things are happening. And the goal of that really is to reduce all these emails that come out so that clubs have space to help promote themselves. Also reduce all the Instagram pages that we have, because there's a lot of SBCC Instagram pages, and trying to really center everything into one portal that everybody, one-stop shop.
So student clubs has their own page.
So each club will have their own page.
And if it were a club, say for English, would that then automatically link to the English page?
We can add a link, yeah. So we'll need the students to work on their pages as well. That's okay, yeah.
What's the date of going live again?
We don't have the date yet.
It's not tomorrow.
No, no.
Spring break. I thought it was gonna go live over spring break.
So right now it's beta, so anybody can anybody with I believe a pipeline can log in with their own information. It's my.sbcc.edu portal. And you can see it and you can play around with it because it's currently in beta right now. But I don't have any firm dates at the moment, and I'm sensing some frustration, so I will make sure that you get all the information that you need.
And it's not like next week, so like at least a month warning is what I need. I don't know about other people. How much of a warning do you need?
I don't know.
God knows.
A lot.
But again, that's where our office,
Specified.
so again, our office is here to support that. So you're not alone. We're here to work with you. We also have IT that's here to work with you, okay? Thank you.
You know how many departments there are, right?
I am aware. And then another thing that we're looking to bring back is My SBCC commutes. So we had SBCC commute, but My SBCC commute with some incentives. And as we meet more and more in person, how can we be a little bit more sustainable? Because we do have sustainability goals in our strategic plan. And then external, we have some similar things, really looking at, I don't know if you all seen this campaign of this guy over at Sketching, but we have a lot, I'm glad it's everywhere. A part of our contract with Threefold is our My SBCC campaign, and that's really to refresh and remind our community of us as a value add that's in their backyard. And so again, we'll have recognition events that are external. The My SBCC campaign, we're soon going to be taking down the Stronger Together banners, and those will be My SBCC banners, because it's time. But also just, you know, we've started restarted the President's Column and Newshawk, just really getting our voice out there because we should be out there. All right, and then just a reminder that our office is a resource. We are small but mighty, and so I have to say, I think my team is down 3 people that we're probably not going to be able to hire. Just that's okay. But as we're talking about cutting back, I just wanted to also say that, because that's what I heard in public. Yeah, so it's not just us, not just you all. But I love my team. They're really awesome, just like each of you. So we have Amanda Jacobs, who really does the marketing and gets her feet in. We have Hong, who is the webmaster extreme. So anytime you need anything updated, he's super quick and super amazing. And then Kristen is just kind of the best. She helps to keep me focused, and then myself. And so some fun facts that we have here is this is how many followers on our official, keyword official social media accounts. So it's over 100,000, which is really awesome. And then last year we had 1.3 million people come to our website, which is really good. We have an awesome website. Thank you all for putting all that work in there. Yes.
Does that mean like visits or
Users.
like, but you can't,
They
you're not
didn't
being
go-
independent?
It could be multiple users.
Like, I've looked 200 times for the Senate.
So yeah, you're probably.
Yeah, all the times we go to the website, you're 100,000.
And we appreciate it. But some of the things that are we can offer. We have some photographers. We hire them and we deploy them all over campus, and we add their photos to our database, which is called DAD. And so if you have an event, if you have something going on, please reach out to us. Just give us a couple of days or a week's notice, and we'll send them out. And that's at our cost. We will take care of the cost, and you'll get photos. We just ask if we can use the photos as well. We also have video services. One thing that we're looking to do is work with TVSB and develop a contract with them. They are already at the Channels event, but they are our public broadcast nonprofit, and looking at what events can we film, what classes can we film, and get that out to people so that they can see, again, the value add that we have as a campus.
Jordan, quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
When the student photographers come to an event we have, do they have to get people to sign release for those pictures to go on the website? Or how do you-
So I researched that, and I think once you're on our campus, because it is a public campus, it's like, yeah.
And we can tell
That's
them, get
what-
out of this picture if you don't want to risk showing up on a website.
That too. We could probably have better signage, so I'll look into having better signage when they go.
So legally, you're okay with that? Okay, because that hasn't always been I don't care, but that has been a message in the past that we would have to get releases if any pictures are gonna be used anywhere.
From my understanding from the lawyer that I talked to last
Okay.
in the fall, they
Okay,
were
good.
like, no, this is a public place, but I will double check and I will get back.
Question,
Yes, ma'am.
does that include classroom events?
I think classroom events might be a little bit different because we have a relationship. I think with that relationship, we should probably have that. So if,
And also you have to be in the class,
yeah,
right? Like you don't have to be
quite effective in the time.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're having specific classes, filmed or a photographer, then we'll probably make sure that happens. But yeah, just let us know.
Could you get us that information?
Absolutely.
I think particularly in PE and athletics.
We'll have events up tonight.
Yeah. Our student athletes get photographed all the time and they haven't signed any release forms.
Yeah, I mean, we use their photos, so.
I know. Everybody uses their
They're
photos.
great. They're
Yeah, I will say, Jordan, years ago, there was a dedicated show at TVSB. It was called, that David Starkey hosted.
Mhm.
It was called Creative Community. I think
Yeah.
it was called. So it'd be cool to like do some more stuff at TVSB.
Absolutely, and they want content and they're so affordable, so affordable. Eventually, I do want like a show,
Mhm.
but I think.
Yeah, you should post it.
I'm gonna hide under the table, but thank you. But here's a sample of some of what our students have taken, and they do a good job. Another thing that we do, press releases, so you all should be on the press release listserv, but we make sure to send all information out to the press, make sure that they are available, including our channels, which is free. One thing that I do want to share, and you've gotten lots of emails from me about closures and all that fun stuff, is emergencies. And so a lot happens when an emergency happens. So for the kickoff, unfortunately, I was not able to attend all of it because I was in a whole afternoon of emergency calls. And I do my best to synthesize and see what exactly we have to do along with our fellow admins. And really, when we close the campus, we don't want to do that because we know how much it affects our students. We know how much it affects biology. We understand that. But this most recent one, we really had to close it because there was so much fear of how much water and how much flooding and getting people off the road. So a lot goes into that decision. Please know that. And we think of you all, of course, and our students first. And then contact us. We're over in the admin building in 118. Please come by our office. My email you all have, jclover@sbcc.edu. But if you have any questions or want any requests, marketing@sbcc.edu goes to our whole team. And then just like next steps. So a couple questions for you all to think about. And as I hopefully can come meet with your individual teams and departments, is what is the Academic Senate's vision for SBCC? That's one question that I would love to have more conversations about. And I know that I'm probably at time.
No, you're not.
Oh, I'm not.
We got 4:15, you
You have another hour of material to fill.
20 more minutes.
Making up for last week.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. So let's start there. I would love to hear what is the Academic Senate's vision for us? Because this helps me with language and developing and just building these relationships. It's something to think about. Sorry, I put you on the spot.
A sense of community and like, that seems kind of obviously, but like you said, I would like to build more relationships with other people that I don't get to see. I'm stuck in a bubble. I'm here at work, and only since I started doing the extracurricular like academic senate or other meetings and like work groups and stuff, did I actually get the opportunity to meet other faculty. And so it was like extra work allowed me to develop those relationships, but it would be nice to create an environment where I don't have to actually work to develop relationships. I see this in the form of like, kind of like appreciation or days where we're gatherings, and I know they do like the coffee breaks and stuff like that, which is amazing. I love that. I can never go to them, but so I don't know, I guess more of those maybe, or just yeah, or different ways. What's there?
I love that. And a part of that is also just breaking our own silos, but a part of that is we will have more appreciation events. And we're looking at an end of the year holiday party to be one of those too. Look, yes, Cornelia.
Yeah, I would like to second that, and what just said, is, I believe, and this is a good example that the relationship building usually does not happen so well over Zoom.
Right.
In-person meetings. And, I said and emailed it out before, I'm not sure if I forwarded that email to you as well, I emailed to other, but if not, we will get it. That maybe we can have more like, not necessarily like big one-time things, but more regular things, like these coffee hours that our classified staff group puts together. The FA is trying to do that as well. We had suggested things like free taco Tuesdays, yoga Mondays or something like that, things like that. More casual, you can just show up, you don't have to sign up or apply for anything. So it's a little bit like the coffee, just not only coffee. So if we could like have more of those, that would be great, and I will forward you that email. It's already 2 years old, but I can
Send it over.
Let's go for Trisha, because she's harder to. Yes, Trisha.
Yeah, I would like to see continued relationship and interaction and collaboration with non-credit and credit. I mean, being at the in-service last week, I was talking to some colleagues and we were kind of sharing ideas for how, you know, our students, we have hundreds of students who come through our program for various lengths of times, adult high school GED especially, and getting them into City College. And it'd be really great to have that be more seamless. And I think it's really been getting a lot better these last 5 or 6 years, but I'd like to see that continue as well.
Absolutely.
My comment was going to be, I wrote to Justina a while ago to say whether there might be a way to give flex credit for people going to like football games or music events or
Theater
events. Well, okay, you know, I get credit. Yeah, I know that's real. No, Atkinson events or that kind of thing, just to really underline that we are a community that offers so many things, and to, just as Jess and Cornelia and Trish were saying, like how to connect with other people. And the other thing I was saying after the last in-service, I always find the opportunities to really interact with our colleagues to be the most useful aspects of in-service. And, you know, years ago, we regularly did this day of caring. I mean, we didn't make it happen. It's like a United Way, I think, thing, but a lot of CC people would participate in that. But I'm wondering if we could do like our own days of caring, like team building activities around campus beautification projects, or like, are there just kind of mutual efforts that we can engage in that could involve people, students, staff, faculty, non-credit, credit across our community that would have a productive and active aspect to it?
I would say absolutely. A huge part of it is also engaging with ASG deeper and bridging that. Because I plan to work with them more. Thanks. Yeah, definitely.
So on the one idea you have, we could have like a punch card. So every time we would go to a school-wide event, you'd have it punched, and then after a certain number of punches, you get something. You know, like a free taco or
A free
a free coffee or something.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know, and then any events you have that you have food, you're always gonna bring more people.
Yeah.
But I guess my real point is, you know, since I've been here since the beginning of time, I've just noticed particularly COVID, you know, with the change, with all the change in administration. And then we go into COVID, and then we work really hard to come back out of COVID. And then we're still fighting everything. We're still not feeling loved, really. And I think these events that you have need to bring administration, faculty, and staff together to just be together and talk about their lives and share things about themselves. So we feel committed to each other. And we're not just us against them, and we're not just, I gotta cut these classes and I'm mad at you because you're making me do this. And we know the budget stuff. I mean, we know all this crap. We're just discouraged. I mean, every time we turn around, we try to come back face to face and then we have blocks. And I think the administration, they're trying. I mean, we have a consistent group of people now, I think, which is really
One of
good.
them sitting here on the.
I know that. I know
wanted to-
she's here. Of course I know she's here. I know that. I'm not, it's not about any one person, but it is about developing that relationship between all of us again. And I think that has been lost over the transition of so many frickin' people coming in and telling us what to do. It gets old. And I think we can build that relationship and we can build that community. But we just haven't had, we haven't had somebody like you to sort of manage that, because we've all just been trying to get through.
I completely get it.
So I would enjoy that, and I think bringing us together, having committee meetings meet, we have to be on campus. I'm sorry, guys, but this Zoom thing is just horrible. And that's what makes the Senate more fun, is that we're here, we talk, we laugh, we dance, we have snacks, we drink coffee.
Thank you. Yes.
I see that what I would love to see is that our students feel more of a sense of belonging, cooperation. And I think backing up what Kathy said, if we are all in our own little areas and we're not able to reach out to each other humanistically, oh, I'm gonna cry. What happens? Our students feel it. And then they go walking across campus alone. And that's not what this whole experience is supposed to be about. If they have someone else in their class, if every instructor would give at least 20 minutes on the first couple of days of class, so they could get to know each other. You will have less kids dropping out. You'll have the kids will, I shouldn't call them kids, but our students will feel supported. We'll have greater success rates with the students finishing the class and being successful because they help each other. And they're not going to do that if we're not doing that.
Thank you. All right. Well, I know some folks might think of something later. You know how to email me and get a hold of me. My next question is specifically, more specific to what we do in our communications office is what communication marketing needs do you have for yourself, faculty, but also for your departments?
How much time do you have?
And this can be internal, probably more internal and external as well, but yes.
This is a bigger one and it's related obviously to what student services constantly works to do. But instructional faculty so often find students who are in classes they don't need to be. And so I don't know what, and I know especially for math, it's a little bit like that. And I know that they have ed plans and they meet with people, but then like the class is full and they pick something. And so I guess I feel like there probably might be a way to have communication strategies that kind of remind students to be kind of checking out stuff somehow. And I don't know how much we can help because we see them in the class, you know. So I asked them what their major is and what classes they're in and that kind of stuff. And so I have some that, is that working or, you know, but I feel like that's something we can communicate more as a campus because it's so important for students to be taking the right courses for themselves.
Okay. One idea that comes to mind is just what, and maybe I'm again, I'm new and naive, and maybe Paloma can chime in, but do we have per department like an intake video, just like, hey, welcome to our department. We're happy to have
We
you.
were supposed to do that through the, what's that thing we did?
CAS with Margaret, guide pathways.
The guided pathways, we're supposed to.
Some
have-
departments have some
Yes.
amazing videos, and they work with Margaret and some.
And some of us don't because we just don't freaking have time or anybody to
Okay.
help us.
Okay, so I can. But I think some type of video that can be evergreen, that can be used multiple times, can hopefully guide students, and that can also go on your portal landing page of just like, welcome, here's how you can navigate life here and how you can, you know, get your classes. So that's just one idea that we can think of. But again, I always like to say everything's a brainstorm till it's not. Like, let's brainstorm, let's come up with ideas and work together. So that's great. Having something that to guide students. What else?
If you have individual faculty who have made some kind of achievement in their area,
Yeah,
to highlight that, because we have amazing faculty on this campus who have done unbelievable things. So let's highlight that, so the student looks and says, well, I could go to CC because look at these great instructors. Why would I pay more to go to UCSB when they don't have anything on CC?
absolutely.
We have great instructors here.
So we're working on a good newser, and that's just internally, but it's basically gonna be like, hey, look what this did. I think Maria also does a pretty good job in her monthly newsletter, because she highlights folks all the time. But we can also do that externally. And so really getting the word out. We tried our best with the best of 2023. And we sent that out to all of our news media outlets of like, this is what happened on our campus. And it was a lot, and it was amazing because you all do amazing work. Any other communicate? Oh, yeah.
So in part, I'm thinking about Kim's comment, and in part, I'm thinking about I'm an academic counselor, so at different times, we have done targeted emails to students about getting them to come in at certain times instead of waiting until the last minute. But I think about the students that I work with on a daily basis, and as an adult, there is a cyclical experience, and there is a cyclical experience with the semester, there's a cyclical experience with the year, and the students don't have that experience and they don't know that. And so having prompts of like, now's the time to think about making an appointment. Now's the time to talk to your instructor about, should you withdraw from the class? Now's the time to turn in your application for graduation. These kind of prompts. And I think that you could look at the academic calendar and easily identify particular things that need prompts.
Really good idea.
The catch to that is that if we are sending them 3 to 5 emails a day, they will never read the right prompt.
Yeah.
And so I know that Sierra College had a position that was a student communication officer, and nothing went to a student on campus that did not go through that position.
Cool.
And that position only sent emails that were targeted, timely, and had an action item. And some element, I mean, this is all communication, but we are constantly trying to communicate
Of course.
with students as everybody is. But I think that there are some intentional, thought out, preemptive things that we could be doing better. And in order for that to happen, either through email or social media, we also have to not be bombarding them.
Yeah.
So that you.
And I think it's a mixture of both. And
I want to get Tricia.
Can I say this before I lose it?
Yeah.
When IPATH existed, the counselors would come in to the IPATH class periodically throughout the semester and do exactly that. So I'm wondering, instead of emails, if you could produce short videos that faculty could show, you know, of the academic counselor explaining that, like 5 minutes tops, and that way. And then if you're teaching online, you can send that as an announcement. Because students are certainly in Canvas, whether they're checking their email. This is a whole other.
We did that with the English department.
Did you?
We can think about reaching out to all the
Tricia.
Yeah, just kind of along those lines, about being inundated with emails. If there's an opt-in texting, because I just feel like people, and it was used judiciously, again, with alerts or timelines, or important events that are done. Maybe that would be something in addition to or alongside email, because I think people respond more to text, at least my students do.
For sure. So the texting, this is something that I'm still grappling with, just because texting students and texting everyone, I kind of want to reserve for emergencies.
Well, but I was saying like an opt-in one, like if someone, not the SBC, sorry, trying to interrupt you, because I know we emailed about that.
Yeah. I can look into opt-in options. I just get, and unfortunately, the world that we live in, I get really concerned
Yeah,
about.
it's too much.
Um,
Can the new portal do some kind of a flash announcement, like as soon as a student would go into the new portal, it would say, now's the time to see your counselor, now's the time, you know, just a quick
absolutely.
pop-up that, you know, would get their attention, but it's not an email because they won't read emails.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could do it with Kansas too, you gotta be careful not to do too many.
Right,
Yeah.
you have 72 pages
Yeah.
of flashing things.
Some of those key things I think about, particularly getting students help. And like the whole new thing with that Paloma talked about with the financial aid thing and all that, you know. Come get help, you know,
Now's the time to.
now's the time to fill out FAFSA, come let us help you, something like that.
All right. And then again, like I mentioned, TVSB is looking for content.
You
So.
need to do a show, so after you get relaxed, and you've gotten us all organized, and you've gotten us all working together as a community, you can do a show.
Oh, okay. I'll think about it. So yeah, let's work together. So again, my request is to meet with teams and departments. A sample topic could be unpack our past and build our future. What does our strategic plan mean for me? Another sample topic, how does the Office of Communications can support you? So things to take back to your teams and think about, and then I will gladly come and spend some time and learn and share information.
That middle one's kind of amazing.
Thanks. And then I do have a request, so like if you have things going on in your departments, let us know because we can help enhance that and help spread the word. Again, I just really just want to say I appreciate you all and yeah, if you have any questions, marketing@sbcc.edu to reach the whole team, Jay Killebrew at sbcc.edu, should you need me.
This is the first time in all these years that anyone from your office has ever come and asked to help us, to support us. Yeah, I mean, we've had some good people in the past do some marketing, but no one has reached out like you have. So thank you very much.
Sure.
And you listen.
I try.
Yeah, he keeps coming to these meetings. It's amazing.
I know, and he keeps answering emails.
It's amazing, you really are.
It is
a breath of
amazing.
fresh air.
Yeah, yeah, you're amazing.
Okay. So are you ready to come to the seat? Oh, she's here too, yes. So, Melanie's here on Zoom. All right, so yes, hello, Melanie, thank you. So we'll go to, well, if I can. I will do a brief introduction. And I will not read all of this, but it's in there for a record. But what I do want to introduce is we have Melanie and Paul here from our campus store. We have Mike on Zoom and we have Ashley here in person from, what's the name of you guys here? I want to stop saying, I can't remember it.
Expert Center.
Thank you. So they are SBCC Textbook Central. They aren't scholar, that's what we call them, right? So it's like, we want to learn that name, that's a great name. So I'm going
But
to
it's fine,
hand over to, I want to see Cory, if you want to make any introductory comments as well, before I hand over to them to see if I leave anything out. But I just want the Senate to know that your ad hoc committee, Cory is chair, Tara and Lori Vasquez and myself met with Mike, Melanie, Paul, Ashley, and Amy Mellinger Watts 3 Fridays in a row.
Wow.
I know, it was a lot, and they were amazing. Everything we asked, they just shared information with us, and it was an incredibly collaborative and open process. It was hard. It was that kind of work that we'd hoped to do before the transition, and we actually made a present, we put it on the CPC agenda just to say it was hard. They did a great job, but it was hard to do it that fast because we knew it would be, right? And a lot of things fell through the cracks. Of course it did. It was too short of a time. And Peter, our third local employee, or 4, because we have one of the person who's warehouse, what's his name?
Yeah, Peter was on maternity leave, awesome. So at any rate, it was really a wonderful experience, and, you know, Corey's been an incredible resource for us and a reminder about OER. But we made, incredible, work together, and I'm gonna steal the fire, but we're gonna look at it again. We're gonna have lower prices for fall. We're having lower prices going forward, thanks to this team who heard us and who adapts to local cultures. They're gonna be changing the contract.
Wow.
Yeah. So Paul and Melanie, we're gonna go first, I think, which is the short thing, and then Ashley has an amazing presentation. Right? Okay, Paul, here's, okay, and Paul. Will you get some cookies or a tangerine? I made these, sometimes they're one of the ones I made. Okay, so the quick thing that Melanie's here for is that class supplies are still overseen by Melanie and our campus. So it's very simple. So I'm just pulling up this attachment for that Melanie made that is so clear. And Melanie, if you want to just say hi, and it's literally, it's literally you get to email. So we're not going through a software. You just get the email stuff. So Melanie, you want to say a couple more words that you can see I put up on the screen, right?
Yeah. So because Verba was attached to our textbook system, and that's kind of moving to Follett's system of ordering textbooks for your classes, Verba is not going to be a thing, and I don't want to make you all go through Verba, number one, when it's going to go away eventually, and number two, because why would you want to go into two different systems and have to place an order like that? So I created a group, Gmail, or a pipeline group. So literally, if you're in your pipeline email, if you just type in required, you'll see a group pop up called Required Class Supply Group. You can literally just send me either your syllabus. You can send me just a quick email saying, hi, this is my class. This is the section. I would like this calculator for my class. And I will get back to you with that if I have any questions regarding the supply item, or to let you know, yes, we have it, or this is when we'll have it, we're ordering it. It's just a way for you to communicate directly to me your needs, so that way we can get everything in, because I know Promise covers anything listed as required in supplies. And so we just want to make sure that you have a way to communicate that to us that's not necessarily Verba. Because also, if you don't, let's say you don't have a textbook request and you're clicking no, I don't have a textbook, you have a way to just email me those supplies that you would like your class to have. And that's pretty much it. We are working on our website currently. So this semester was kind of funky because we had to stick the required supplies in just a catalog on our website, because the course requests went away, because that's how the students would order books through us. So we had to quickly throw them up online in a required supply catalog. And I know that that was difficult for the student, because they had to know what they needed, and then they had to find it, and then they could check under description to see if their CRN was listed there. We are going to go back to it being literally where they click on the tab and they can type in their class, and then it will pop up with what the class is put in as required. So whatever you have emailed me as required, they can literally type in their CRN, their class, and it will pop up with everything listed there, either as optional, required, recommended. So we're trying to get that system up for summer, so that way the student can look up what the required item is versus having to know what it is and then having to find it. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Melanie. That's great. All right. So
I will say really quick that a syllabus really helps. Because some product that's ordered, that's required, if we go back and get the syllabus, we can feel better exactly what you're looking for, unless they're giving us an exact SKU number. So if you have a syllabus, if you could throw it in there. Ensuring we're getting the right.
Wonderful. I'm not gonna spend time with this. You can, if this is the humans. To that organization, Chuck's link. I've also got a couple other resources I forgot, but I will. So, all right, so Ash is gonna start, and, Ron.
Can I ask a quick question for you, Bob?
Yeah.
Melanie, what's the due date for sending a required item request? Is it when we're submitting our textbooks for the summer and you also want an email for the non-textbook items, like the same week it's due?
Yeah, I mean, it's best to submit it the same time that you do your textbook request, because that gives us plenty of time to make sure we have it. You can send it anytime though. It's better to hear about it at any time than not at all. But if you put it in during your textbook time, it gives us ample time to make sure we get it in advance. We have the quantities we need. And also the pricing's better if we can get it quicker rather than last minute when we can't get the deals that we get during buying seasons.
Especially if those are kids.
Okay, really?
So this email, the required class supplies group, we only use for non-textbooks, for anything else for supplies that are not textbooks.
Yes, visual.
Just supply items. So not anything textbook or like the digital books, anything like that is through.
Okay, guys, we're moving on, because the follow stuff's bigger, so, Melanie will answer your emails. So actually, this works with mouse, and,
Why don't you put it on presentation?
Meeting with Kathy. It's a PDF. It's a PDF.
It's just that it still goes to presentation. Yeah, even right now, my.
I'll try to get my thing on, yeah.
It goes from slide to slide.
I don't.
From slide to slide.
There you go, yeah, no, I think that, yeah, don't even.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'll have
to click on each one.
Headlines?
Yeah. Wait, don't.
So hi, my name is Ashley Ortez. I'm the market leader overseeing SPC Textbook Central. I've been with Wallet for 8 years and I have overseen 2 other campuses. And it's my passion to help students. I know I'm not part of the academic journey. Sorry, I missed that one.
We got you all choked up, didn't we?
A little bit. But, I enjoy being part of the academic journey. I know I'm not the instructor, I'm not changing lives, but homework.
It's just tap, but.
Thank you. But homework is hard, not getting your textbooks. So that's my motto. Okay. So I'm going to try to breeze through this. This is in a format in which everybody can read at their own leisure. There are some changes. We have organized the book room by book's author's last name, and the students are now welcome to walk into the book room and grab their own books. We are always there to help. Our major change is the website. We have our own bookstore website. It is sbcctextbookcentral.com. That's where students are going to put in their section number, their course name, and it's going to come up. We also were able to have an integration with the actual schedule. That is a live link, so when it's shared, you guys can click it and audit. So before the students can actually enroll into the class, they can see what books are expected of them to get. And then they can make their determination with which instructor for the various classes. I'm gonna move on because you guys are all welcome to come in and have a tour. And we'll have as many as we need. Us at SBCC Textbook Central, we offer more digital than before. We have a large catalog of books through our platform, which is brightwave.redshell.
Students can buy, students can rent. We do have the price match program. We have Follow Discover that is going to be integrated into your campus. So you can go into your global portal and make adoptions there. It takes a few minutes. And if there's any questions, concerns, you can always email us. We'll have workshops for it. And then if there's, you could also put in notes. That's probably the most important thing, in my opinion, is that you could put notes to the bookstore and you can also put notes to the students, like, wait to get this book until the second week of class, because there's things that you guys do that don't always fall in line in the first week of class start. So we support campus cards, scholarships and special programs. We currently have about 20 scholarship voucher programs integrated into our system for students to use. We also support OER, and we can notify those who on our website to say this book is available for free and still offer a physical book for those who have variable learning styles. And then we are also ADA compliant with our ebooks through our platform. There's a few more slides, a little bit more detail about how we support OER, how OER and IA can go hand in hand, and ADA compliance. And if Mike wants to add anything, I can take a break.
Mike, if you ever we're watching the screen, so raise your hand if you ever want to jump in on it.
Okay, or I'll just speak up.
Right.
Thank you. Stop me at any time, Mike. Mike is our course materials market manager. He oversees course materials. He orders them. He follows up on receiving. He makes sure accuracy and availability. So most of the questions will probably go to Mike, but I am always a supportive assistance to Mike. And plus I'm here human hybrid. He is remote, so. There's some discussion between what is a trade book and a textbook. But most importantly, we've had a breakdown of course packs. We consider course packs something that is custom created by an instructor or a department that is sold and made locally. So some of the things that we ran into when we first launched in spring was that our costs were different, especially for the course packs. In fall, the course pack cost from the duplicating department was $6.28. Now, the cost of the goods have gone up to $9.90. We are using Xanadu. Xanadu is a copyright authority. I'm free to open up any discussion about that for clarity. They do not own the product. They just make sure that if there is a copyrighted material, there is no indemnification taken against the school for wrongful use of copyrighted materials. And that's why we end up using them. Moving forward, and I break down our margin and their margin. But moving forward, we were able to find some ways to reduce the costs for the students because we are here for their success and the right price is this right price for the students. So if we can lower those costs and make it more feasible and more equitable for everybody, we will do what we can to make that decision and we will keep everybody informed. So we were able to knock off co-card. That is cost of packages and returns. There's various things that are included in that, the payroll, the ordering, the shipping, the receiving, and all the costs that kind of go behind that, the human aspect. But we were able to actually bring that from 9% to 0. So as you can see, our major change is from $21.50 to $18.75. I did include a theorization of moving past Xanadu. We included Xanadu for that safety clause for both us and the campus. Without Xanadu, the first run, we can even lower the cost lower to $13.25 instead of what's now currently being sold at $18.75. And there's questions about how Xanadu prices. This is what, some information that I got from Xanadu, depending on the page, royalties, if it's copyrighted, if it's not copyrighted. I'm gonna let you guys read that at your own leisure, because it's a little wordy, and I know you guys are very busy.
I'll just highlight, so if you reuse a course pack, it's the same PDF you've already used, it will not go to Xanadu again. So then you have that option, let's say you have a typo on page 4, or you wanted to add like one more unit, just do that on your own, the handout. So your course pack, that's how you get that low price that actually shows, yeah, talk.
And when you order, make that note in your order when you're adopting that packet.
That it's already
This is
been
the
through?
same packet as was used last semester.
Right.
And then you'll save that.
Thank you. I've included some examples.
Okay, I'm gonna pause on these examples.
Okay.
So this is, just wanna say.
It's work.
Well, this is so much work for you, but Corey fielded zillions of emails. Thank you, those for sharing that information. And again, SBCC Textbook Central, actually, looked at it all and broke it down for us as we requested. So this is where this comes from. It comes from the feedback that you were sending to Corey, and then Corey correlated and brought to our group. So thank you guys for all that labor.
Our goal is to be transparent. We're not doing things in the shadows. That is not how you build a partnership. That's not how you build a community. And I see that this community really wants to be more integrated with student life. And that is something that we would like to try to help where we can. So, flyers in the bookstore, we have some great wall space. Not telling you, but I'm suggesting it.
You mean you're offering that if you want to put some stuff up there?
Yes, because the first week of Rush, there's a little bit of a line. Give them something to read.
Where's Jordan, right? Put some stuff up there from your office.
And so, these were some examples. This is Give Me Liberty. This is a bundle with a code. Before, I've included some, it needs a little bit of clarification. Our invoice hasn't changed. So it's not the cost from the publisher that has changed. It's the zero co-par that we are charging that has changed the prices, most notably in new prices and therefore used prices. So before, just a few weeks ago, it was at $64.80 for a brand new book. Now it's $53.50. I did include the publisher's pricing, just for transparency reasons. Their bundle is $62.50 because they do give us a discount, and whenever we get a good price from the publisher, we automatically pass it on to the students. So, personal finance with an access code, again, it was at $125.25 and now it's at $110.75. Again, the invoices, it hasn't changed, but the actual code part has been removed. There's a few more in here. Most notably, psychology. These are higher prices books. This is pretty reasonable for psychology. It was $126.70. Now it is at $112. We offer digital, and this Macmillan offers various rentals for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months. We rent for the term. So it's not from the first day of class, it's from when the first day that the student can order it. And that is usually at least, well, as soon as we can. If you put it in on the first day that the Camel Ready schedule is open, and they can rent it for what, 7 months? Mike, that's like the long term. So it doesn't.
It's 180 days from the day they activate their ebook.
Yes, that's for digital.
So for the 180, you have to be careful not to do it too early.
That's 6 months.
Okay.
So, classes are around 5. So that's a suggestion. We'll let them know. It's listed on our website as that. It's only for 180 days. Chemistry by Timberlake. This is an expensive book. It was $349.25. In this case, we would ask the student to probably go digital because we like to give those options as well. We are currently at $229.40.
And from the Pearson website itself, it's $229.32. Unfortunately, Pearson doesn't give us very much of a good invoice for that one. This is another one that I wanted to show. This is an old edition. It's no longer in production. So we have to source it through buyback and wholesalers. And the closest thing that I could find from the publisher's website is actually from barnesandnoble.com. They're offering it new for $340.95. And we are offering it for $376.
But the point here is because it's an old edition, it's turning into like vintage or antique or something, it's getting more expensive, so that's something I think we need to watch as faculty.
Yes, and we actually don't have this book used, but for transparency reasons, if somehow we're able to source a new, those would be the prices, but we do beat Barnes and Noble in this case. It's used $250.
So nobody's using this now?
People are using it.
Oh, they are here.
But we just can't get branded.
Right.
All our stock is used. But
all the books are ones that are currently.
I know this is a lot to take in, so feel free to ask me any questions at any time. I included trade books, which are general reads. I linked it to the publisher so you could see like the new price, what we sell it for, to what they sell it for, and it's comparable to the nearest quarter. I think the biggest difference is 35 cents, which the students will pay more in shipping than coming to the book.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So I have one of those books that I required, and if they bring it back and sell it back to you, will you sell them at that book is used price? Because on Amazon, they can get it dirt cheap.
Yes, unfortunately, we cannot compete with Amazon
No,
because
that's
it's
okay.
seller to seller,
No,
but we
that's
do
okay.
have price match where we price match books that are fulfilled by Amazon and shipped by Amazon. So for buyback, the general consensus is that we'll offer 50% of what you bought it for. So if it's used, it only comes back, even if it's brand new, still in the wrap, for instance, if we buy it back, it's integral that we put it back as a used book.
Yeah. They do have them there now, like Tara and I took a tour, and they have a lot of trade books at use, so you get even lower.
And that buyback price is contingent on if it's been adopted for the next term.
We do understand that our
Yeah, that
since
makes sense.
Right.
we buy back books every day. And I'm transparent enough to tell the student, like, right now, we're at a deficit with our need because everybody's gotten it. We're actually starting to work on returns, but about 2-3 weeks before class, that's where you wanna come back. So second start term, come back in because people still need it. And so,
So that's a message to faculty that the sooner we get our book orders in, like if we meet the deadline you request, that's better for our students because then they have a chance to buy back those used books.
yes, because we don't wanna buy from the publishers. We wanna save students money. There are so many things going on in this world that if we can make it easier, at least when they're at school, let's do it, you know? Inflation's a thing, sorry. And IA titles, currently it is going through Vital Source. And
what is Vital Source?
Vital Source is the platform in which IA, Inclusive Access, is delivered to.
Oh, okay.
So this is a contract that we do not own as Follett. And so I want to show, it's very wordy, but there's no changes because Peter, he oversees it and there's an contractual agreement for IA. And that is the end of my long, probably
No, it's
screenshot
good.
pictures.
No, it's good.
I'd like to do a little.
I just wanted to say really quick that you don't have to confuse your students or yourselves with a new website. You just go to sbccbooks.com like you always have. And it links right to their textbook site for ordering books, for adopting books.
They can also click on the CRN and get right to their textbook. That's even easier, maybe.
Cornelia?
Will the emails that we usually like get every semester and says, hey, it's now time to submit your textbook. will this platform change or will that be pretty much the same? I finally got used to it.
So it will actually.
Now it's gonna change.
Synced into your Canvas, so it'll come up as
Canvas?
a message through Canvas.
It's an app.
Okay, but the actual platform,
Yeah.
the actual platform is.
Wait, aren't you still emailing Paul that what orders are? Cause we're not gonna find it in Canvas.
Not right now.
So you'll get an email telling you it's book order time, but you're gonna be ordering through Follett Discover now.
Okay.
The old software is dead, that's what Melanie said before, it's like supplies aren't happening
But Follow Discover is an app in Canvas.
for us too.
Yeah, so maybe like the FRC will just automatically add it to all of our navigation bars, which would be useful.
We should ask.
Because otherwise you just have, well, it's easy to do. You just go to the apps and add it to your navigation bar, but if maybe the FRC will just do it for us.
That is the goal, to make it easy. Yeah, you guys have syllabuses, change, being relative in your classroom and making it exciting. With all those changes, why would we complicate it? We want to make it as easy as possible. And if we're gonna hold workshops, we're gonna have trainings on it. And I'll take it by smoke signal, your adoptions. I walk it in, email it in.
When our building burns down, you mean? Ashley also shared another PowerPoint that I forgot to link, which has direction to Follett Discover, so I'll add that to the agenda later, so you can like look through those slides. It's pretty intuitive, but you never know, so we will be reaching out about training, whether or not somebody make a video or something, but the slides will probably be okay, and worst comes to worst, they get to just email you, right?
Yeah.
And then before we talk more questions and discussions is, we're gonna make sure the directions get to you, so this first, wherever it is, wherever. And then we get to form a bookstore advisory committee, so that is something Follett likes to do on every campus, and we've really seen the customizing that they wanna do. They're part of their SBC textbook central. So, I'm liking that. So, let me know if you're interested or draft people. This is a list of what they hope for. So the store manager, I guess that's you, Paul, as opposed to is that you?
It would be A1.
Oh, okay, A1 is on the floor, perfect. I don't know who director of auxiliary is.
Oh.
That's Paul, okay. And then faculty member, parliamentarian, one of the regular folks here, a student affairs rep, a library rep, so we're excited. Student government rep's a cool idea, right? Because they're really connected. And then anybody else. So. So we're gonna form this, and this is a group who really wants to hear from us, so we will, it'll be a good effort. And now, any additional thought, questions, where are we on our time? 4:43. Oh my gosh, we have time to discuss, it's amazing.
Does the library, does the bookstore still give books, or does the library still buy books so that there are textbooks in the library?
Reserve.
Yeah.
So previously, the bookstore had a fund that the library could utilize to purchase course reserves. I'm not sure. Cameron's in charge of that. I don't know if she's been in talks.
Cameron comes in and shops.
Okay, it's like 19,000.
That's her.
So what's important is if you do a digital or an inclusive access, they cannot.
Right.
So just for the folks who order print books, but yeah, they automatically buy a print book and have it there. I always double check just because like, come on, my fault for the cracks, but they've always had it, so far.
Cameron is good.
Yeah.
Yes, before
Okay.
class started,
Okay.
the librarians did come in and purchase textbooks for the reserve.
Okay, good.
I don't want to pour cold water over this presentation or make this about me.
It's all about
I'm
you.
not the only one, when I surveyed my department, but my book is still not in this semester for English 11.
Oh my
I've
God.
contacted Paul about this a couple times, haven't heard back this week, unfortunately.
The publisher it's out of print.
It's a
Is it?
it's a new book,
Is it
it shouldn't be out of print.
The
Anthology?
publisher is behind in printing in
So they have not printed enough copies.
I've had students, a couple students have imported it from overseas.
But we have.
They're desperate.
Just so you know, we have a digital version.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've ever tried to read Shakespeare on a phone, but that's what you'd be asking some of my students to do, and I just can't do.
Well, I'm just so you know, my son does all of his homework on his phone.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I've got students who are not.
They can return that digital copy when the book comes in, right?
Yes, they
And
can.
they'll get it, you can get the book.
I did
They'll get their
call.
money back.
I understand, and I did get that message from you 2 weeks ago, but I just wanna know when the book's gonna.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I
But
just only
Chris,
learned today.
it's not on them, the publisher hasn't printed them.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
I
If
can call.
if it's
I can
in
call
print
Adam-
overseas,
Well,
I
there's
can
like
call
4
Adam
lists in some overseas place.
Hey, you adopted the book through a publisher, right? So.
does Follett not work with that publisher, or should I?
No, I
is this-
think, all I'm saying is I think you have a better opportunity to get the answer from them than we.
Okay, so in the past, I would have been contacted by someone else before the semester began with this sort of a problem. I did not become aware of this until after my students brought this to me in the first week. I just want to be clear, you know, when we had other people in the bookstore, this just didn't happen.
That was me and Jake, but
I don't think it was just
now there's a three major anomalies that didn't follow any justice in this transition, and this is one of them. Cengage also.
I think it's
It's
because of the way that we entered into the term. We've had a lot of situations because we're a new account for a lot of these major publishers. That is not the case in Norfolk. They were, it's on order. It's supposed to be back in stock on the 23rd. I had the rep from Cengage come in yesterday, Adam Bustamante. And I said, you need to go talk to Cengage faculty because they're upset because why we placed this order back in December 11th and through various craziness, which we have very detailed notes about it. But unfortunately, Norfolk is not going to be in stock until the 23rd, and we have been pushing, or it's not going to be in stock with the publisher for them to send it out to us. And I did follow up with customer service, and I told Adam Bustamante that it needs the highest level of detail because these students are 4 weeks out and they're suffering, and the library doesn't have this.
Now it's gonna be another couple of weeks, and the last I had heard was that it was coming on a 2-day shipment. That was 2 weeks ago. So the communication is just breaking down somewhere.
It is, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
It's likely because you don't have our emails yet, and we didn't. It's a transition, and we will get better. And I'm sorry, because I know that it affects the students and their education or instruction. And I apologize, and I will email you directly immediately once it comes in. And I will keep attention to it.
I've heard that from a couple different people, so I'll wait to see.
I'm in person, human.
All right. Nice to meet
And
you.
now we're real people again, we're not just a blanket email. So I will follow up with you.
Oh, my cat is generating.
Mike, did you withdraw the hand?
I did. I didn't hear what book it was at first, but I
It's,
understand which one it is now.
Portable Anthologies by Curtis Schur.
And so are you in the bookstore?
I'm sorry, I answer questions before they're finished, and I apologize. I'm a hybrid position. I oversee another campus.
Okay,
I actually oversee Allen Hancock College as well.
okay.
A1 is boots on the ground, but we have very good communication with them. Clearly, just follow it right now. We will get better.
Do you have hours that you are in our bookstore, or does it vary?
It varies. I'm gonna try to be here at least 2 days a week. Because of the holiday, I pick, well, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Next week, it's gonna be Tuesday, Thursday.
So how do we pronounce it? A1?
A1.
A1 is here all the time, comes down to the counter.
Okay.
Ashley has the 2 campuses. Amy has like 34,
Mm-hmm.
but she goes up and down the coast. We got to meet her, that was fun. And Mike in this year goes online. And I want to highlight one other thing that, if nobody has any other questions, I'm gonna tell you one other thing, but anybody have any other questions? Yeah.
Is that linked to the agenda, the org chart? The org chart?
Yes.
Because I couldn't read that for the minutes.
Yes, it's right, you don't need to, see it, it's right there. Thank you, minutes taker.
And also Peter, you will be back on the 22nd, and he spend it on there since before I usually attend. He's a good reason.
It was an unfortunate, great reason to be on, but at the transition, they didn't have your other person here, Oh, Mike, yes.
I just wanted to say that one other thing we offer is Follett operates close to 1,000 bookstores. So if a book is in stock at another store and a student places an order online, that store will fulfill the order and send it to us. I just looked up that Norton one, and there are about 20 copies available through other stores. So I'm going to contact them and see if they can send some our way, just so we don't have to wait another 2 weeks. But it is something, if the students go on the website and order, they'll fulfill it and send it to us.
So Mike, Chris could email them tonight and say, compete to get online, and you can order, it'll be sent to you, is that what it is?
I don't think it's not a Norton book, I don't know.
Oh, you said Norton, okay.
No, it's a Cengage book.
So
Right.
it's the Engage book, so you could get 20 online from other stores, so if they do it themselves, it can get sent to this store to get picked up.
But is that really
Well, why
what you
can't we do
meant? You're not gonna have the students go searching through all the bookstores.
No, it's an integration, like when you order from Amazon, you're not ordering from just one location. It's an intra-network organization, so it might come from like Fresno warehouse.
So
Like
Chris
company.
could tell these students to go to our bookstore, Follett on campus, SBCC, whatever we are, and
Textbooks.
order that book.
Is it available in your use, Mike? I don't know.
I only saw new ones at the moment.
Yeah, because it's a brand new book, that's why it's out of print. So if they
If I
want,
had got this message earlier, I would have just gone with the previous version, an older edition would have been okay. It would have been a lot better than what has
well,
happened.
exactly,
And
yeah.
I feel like in the past, I would have gotten notice
I
ahead.
think we all agree with that, Chris.
So-
It happened with.
And so do I.
That's happening.
But on this issue though, is it true that the students should go into SBCC textbook and try to order this book and then they would get it from some other bookstore?
And
Is
if
that
it's-
what he should tell these students?
If it's an in-store pickup, they do not pay for shipping.
So you
The
can order.
student isn't gonna see any of this, the student's gonna order the book, and if they're out of the book, it should seamlessly be ordered from any one of their 100 or 1,100 store. What happened?
I want to just say one other thing on this issue. When you guys order a text, you can also check our older editions okay or not. And I don't know if you did that and it didn't come through the software.
I did not know this would be an issue.
No, but that's a common practice when you order, because you never know, your stuff runs out. So I believe that's always an option when you order, and that would have allowed them to order the older one. So just for future reference, we need to educate ourselves too.
I'm building a syllabus around a certain edition, and so I expected that to be,
No,
kind of a problem.
I do it for use, like, yeah, I have 2 sets of page numbers sometimes, but yes, yeah.
So we have an instructor here who we're 4 weeks into the semester, his students don't have a text. Mike is saying there's 20 of them somewhere floating around. Follett is our interface. Why wouldn't Follett grab those 20, get them to this bookstore so our students can get their text? That's what I'm seeing is the breakdown.
I don't understand.
It's because those stores are also using that book.
So they just buy it. They don't know where it is. If they buy it online.
So
you take it
now-
home. It doesn't
So
mean-
now the students have to go online. It's an added step.
Well, it's the
And
same thing they
expense.
would do if
I
they
know.
were gonna order a book anyway.
You guys, it's the same
Right.
price. You order it,
That's right,
it's the
but
same price.
What I'm trying to say here, since Follett is our interface, I feel like our instructor is not being supported.
So Roosevelt, the 2 ways. You're right, he wasn't told sooner when this whole new book thing happened. But this issue about the 20 books. If you go online at our textbook portal, you just order it. If you don't know where it is, it'll be at the store for you, no extra cost.
Well,
So
you
that's the
hope,
point, huh?
you hope if they have enough to, and they'll send
And
it.
at last glance, it said unavailable.
So maybe they've already been used, who knows? Maybe the 20 have been sold. So this was an unfortunate, weird, the publisher ran out and Chris didn't find out. So that's.
So our students don't even go to get a physical book unless
They
they
have
have
it.
ordered it? Oh, they can choose.
Yes. So-
Okay.
Yes, so you can, as always, you can order stuff online and have it shipped to you. You can order stuff online and pick it up at the store. You can go into the store, same option. What I wanna share, just to, if people didn't see the detail in the opening slide, it is kind of a big one. The books are organized by author, not by class. So I wanna share, when I first went down there with Tara, we're like, what? And it'll spread out, this is so amazing. And then you're like, chill.
Was that you or Tara?
That was me. You know that. That was me. How, gee,
What a surprise.
it's so, but I'm like calming myself down, come on, it's changed, stay open. But basically, you can scan the QR code for your class and you get the full list. And what is really actually good about this is in the olden days, like two people are both teaching Julius Caesar. They run out at my slot and the students don't know if it's some other class. So they walk and they're in the store, but they can't find them. So this by author is actually beneficial for the students. I just want to warn you guys, because change is hard, but it does really work well. And there's people on the floor to help you. And so you can pretty easily find
When I
it.
saw there's last name.
Right.
Yeah, I would.
You know,
Yeah.
not Jenny, the book by John.
All a million.
Okay, we have, thank you.
Can I ask, moving forward though, how can we prevent something like this from happening again? It seems like there's a missing step, missing link somewhere. I don't know who that would fall on, and I think we need to sort of try to identify that or call that out today when we're having this conversation, so that we can have that sort of built into whatever process it is that we need to have for the next go around.
I fully agree. It was a time crunch. As you can see, our deadlines are quite early for both spring and fall. We entered campus December.
6 weeks to.
Yeah.
Then it
Which
ran into
shouldn't
the
be an excuse,
Christmas
but-
break.
Yeah, that did it too, the 2 week
And-
Christmas break.
The previous software wasn't fully compatible. And we were still missing adoptions from what I understand. So it's been best to get it measured. I've been trying on my side. And we don't like this.
I just want to say, I
We want it
mentioned,
better.
I mentioned at CPC that this is one of our concerns to be doing it so quickly. We knew it would suck. And, because, FRC doesn't even change like a feature in Canvas, So we brought that up and administration said it's worth saving the money now, which I understand, but this is the cost. So it's, I really can't, I don't think it is fair to think about it being followed primarily. I mean, it's the whole situation and it is the price of rushing stuff. And that's what happens and, so that's a big deal. I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering, in terms of communication, if it was, you look so uncomfortable and I'm so
I'm
sorry
a
to
little
ask you
uncomfortable
this.
because I want to ask you more questions.
But if
I-
it's possible to have someone come and explain to us the process and then we can send it out to our departments. and
We decided not to
Not to do
set a
that?
time for that, so we
Okay.
got the slides, and so I just think that's more efficient, so I will attach the slides, but, and people.
I mean, just like these sort of tips, or maybe we can get a list of like tips.
So maybe we
for
can set a-
faculty that we. can
That's a
just
great idea.
forward, You know.
FAQs.
All right, yeah, we can definitely.
I think Sonic can take some.
Okay, you guys, it is 4:59, so, I.
Hey, Kim.
Do I have a
Thank you
motion?
very
All right, okay, oh, wait, we're not adjourned, Mike, last word.
I just wanted to say, usually when I get the adoption and there's an old edition, I reach out then and let the instructors know. If we order and then we find out, then I pass that on as soon as I can. I know the communication this time around wasn't the best, and that is something that I take personally, and I will improve on that at SBCC.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Ashley. All right, thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody. All right.
Chris, how many students do we have?